Hello, ladies. Welcome back to another edition of Menopause Made Easy, helping you thrive after 45. I'm Tanya, and today's episode is one that could completely shift the way you approach weight loss, habits, health, not just temporarily, which is, somewhat easy to do. I've done it myself, but for good, which is what I am working on. Consistency of long-term sustainable shifts that provide me with vitality and energy and youthfulness and fun, fun, fun. We're going to talk today about self-image, which is definitely something that I have had a problem with in my life. And you can't, this is really interesting. You cannot change yourself long term until you change your self image. You might lose 10 pounds, but if you still see yourself as someone who struggles with weight, you'll almost always gain it back. Why does this happen? Because your self image is the thermostat of your life. Let that resonate with you for a minute because, oh my gosh, I can feel that. No matter how much effort you put in, you will always return to the setting you've mentally assigned yourself. And unless that setting changes, the results won't stick. And so I know for myself that for years I counted calories. I thought it was a willpower issue. I did the whole deprivation and then I would binge and then I thought I had to move more. And what I know is that food was a symptom and it was easier to control than doing this work that I'm talking about, but this will provide with long-term changes. All right. So it is crucial that this work is done. Now, you could do it while you're also, improving your diet and your nutrition, your movement, your sleep, et cetera, et cetera. But it's really important that we change this. So Bedros Azadi, he wrote Metabolic Freedom, and he says, your identity drives your behaviors. Your identity drives your behaviors, and your behaviors create your outcomes. So notice when you go on a diet or you start to exercise more or whatever it is, your outcome may change. Okay? So you've changed your outcome because you changed your behavior. But then something happens, or maybe you get the outcome you wanted, and slowly things start to shift because we haven't changed our identity to keep these behaviors long term. And I absolutely can see where this applies to me in my life. Okay, so what is self-image? What does that even mean? It's the internal blueprint of who you believe you are. It's not just your reflection in the mirror, it's how you think, feel, and talk about yourself, especially when no one else is listening. It's that silent voice that says, like, I've always been a stress eater. I'm not athletic. I'm not just a morning person. I need to have something sweet after dinner. I'm never going to lose this weight. Like, just think of all those little things that you say in your head. Okay. And this is the thing, you will always act in harmony with that image of yourself. And I have done great episodes. I think it's 210 A, B, or C, where I talk about Greg Braden's work and Bruce Lipton's work, really about how to reprogram your inner being. They're definitely worth listening to. I've also done some other episodes, but those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. So let's have a couple of examples because it always helps. So here's Linda, the rebounder. And I can definitely say there's times in my life I've been a rebounder. I know a ton of rebounders. That's okay, right? But let's see if we can change this. Linda is 57. She's done keto, intermittent fasting, boot camps, you name it, she's done it. And she has lost weight. but it always comes back. Why? Because deep down, Linda still sees herself as someone who struggles with food. Her self-talk is filled with guilt and punishment. And she says things like, I have no willpower. I always mess this up. I'm addicted to carbs. And even when her external habits change temporarily, okay, so you can always change those external habits temporarily, but it's for how long do they change for? Her internal identity hasn't changed. So when stress hits or life gets messy, she rebounds every single time. Now, maybe you're Linda, maybe you're 100% Linda, maybe you're 50% Linda, maybe you're not Linda at all. Maybe you're Maria, who's the believer, and she's 60. And she stumbled across my podcast and something shifted. She stopped obsessing over what to cut out and started focusing on who she wanted to become. Who does Maria want to become? And she started to ask herself, what does a vibrant, active, nourished woman think like? How does she treat her body? What kind of self-talk supports the life she wants? She started small and she started to journal every morning, and she wrote, I am a strong, joyful woman who honors my body. She started to move daily, not to punish herself, like I have done many a time, but to connect to herself, to feel connected to herself. And she started to recognize her old patterns. And as soon as they came into her head, she said, nope. And she really was aware of her thoughts and then was like, okay, that is not what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. And it's not willpower, okay? It's nothing to do with that. It's the awareness of saying no to these habits, thoughts, feelings that no longer match who she was becoming. And Maria dropped inches, but more importantly, she shed a limiting identity. And this is when lasting change happens. And listen, ladies, I'm human. I am still working on this. I can still, as I'm, sharing this podcast with you, there are things I need to shift my identity on, but that's okay. I'm working on it little by little, day by day. I've let go of being in a rush. Okay. Is it frustrating sometimes? Yes. Would I like faster results? Sometimes, yes. Okay. But I do know that I'm going to honor this journey and I want the lasting change. So I will continue to do the work. So how can we change our self-image? How can we can do the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton. That's very important. And then we can also visualize who we want to become. Close your eyes and see the woman you want to be. And I know this can be challenging, especially when you're stuck in your own identity and then you say you want to be something else. And then you hear the voice in the back of your head saying, who do you think you are to be that person? But just notice these thoughts and just put them to the side and just tap into what do you want your energy to feel like? How do you stand? What does your posture look like? How do you move? What's your confidence like? Right? So visualize and really feel this in your body and speak it into existence. Yes. Okay. Use that for affirmations and embody them. Feel yourself. I am becoming a woman who feels amazing in her skin, and then act in alignment. Do not wait to feel motivated. That's not going to happen. It's really not. You have to take small, daily, consistent, small, tiny actions that reinforce the new image. And the more you act like this vision of who you want to become, the more you become her. Okay. And I love this saying. And I've heard it many different ways, but when I was doing research for this podcast, Bob Proctor popped up and he said something that really resonated with me. because I was asking about the difference of having faith versus being stuck in fear, because many of us are stuck in fear. And how do we have faith to become somebody who we don't see yet? And I loved this quote. It says, faith is the ability to see the invisible and believe in the incredible. This is what enables you to receive what the masses call impossible. Faith is the ability to see the invisible. So that would be you bringing your future person into your mind's eye. Believe in it. Believe in it. Okay. And this enables you to receive what the masses call impossible, because some people say they have to see it to believe it. But if you've read a lot of this work, you have to believe it to see it. Faith and fear are the same thing. Okay. This is so fascinating. They both require you to believe in something you can't see. Fear believes in failure before it happens, and faith believes in your future before it arrives. So again, just sit back and notice sometimes when you're in fear and when you're in faith, and really just ponder what I talked about here. So Maria chose faith in herself, and that helped to change everything. In closing today, I'm just going to leave you with this. What identity are you living in, and is it one you truly want? And you have the power to close your eyes and see something different and embody that person. Talk to people who have what you want. What are they doing? What's the next small shift that you can take? Change your self-image, and the body and the energy and the lifestyle, they follow. Thank you, ladies, for listening. If this episode lit a fire in you, share it with a friend. Like, review, leave me a little note. That would be great. Real transformation starts with how we see ourselves. Do you have the faith in yourself to conjure up your new person, where you want to go, and then take the small little steps every day to reach her? Until next time, thank you. The most empowering thing you can do is believe in the you that you are becoming. Have a beautiful day, everybody. Hugs and kisses.